Hello and welcome back to State and Local Government and Politics. In Part 5 of Module 7 on Executives, we'll discuss the State Treasurer and the Superintendent of Public Instruction. State treasurers administer or supervise the financial transactions taking place in state government. The collection of tax, investment, and transactional revenue is a major feature of the treasurer's job. In the area of tax collections, it is the case that tax revenue does not arrive all at once. State sales tax, for instance, typically arrive in state coffers monthly from retail merchants who sell tax goods or services. Gasoline taxes are levied on individual purchases and tallied by the familiar gas pumps found at every service station. A monthly tally is read on each pump, and each station operator remits taxes due to the state and federal governments. State treasurers are responsible for managing such financial resources as they are collected, and they oversee distributing those resources to state agencies appropriately, that is, according to statutory formulas set forth in the state budget documents. While the resources are sitting in state coffers, usually state bank accounts in private banks and investment institutions, the treasurer is responsible for the careful investing of these monies to earn interest, or in the case of longer-term investment, to earn dividends and or gain in market value. There are many instances where state resources are insufficient to complete budget goals. State legislatures, with the governor's approval, will direct the state treasurer to issue bonds. Bonds are promissory notes, essentially IOUs issued in the name of the state. Investors purchase a bond for a certain amount when such bond issuances are announced. On a predetermined due date or call date, the principal investment, as well as the interest earned, are returned to the investor. External parties rate bonds with expertise in finance in terms of the likelihood of repayment. The best bond rating from Standard & Poor's, a major private bond rating corporation, is AAA. Bonds receiving a lower rating entail a greater degree of financial risk, but pay a higher rate of interest. State treasurers actively manage state bond issuances and seek to develop and maintain financial management plans that result in high bond ratings, which save state taxpayers money and interest payments avoided. In recent years, state treasurers have begun to play an ever larger role in the development of innovative funding programs for state investments in higher education. As any listener would likely know, the cost of college education has been rising more quickly than the general cost of living. Fortunately, the U.S. Internal Revenue Service allows in its Code 529 provision for the development of individually funded tax-exempt college savings accounts. The monies invested by individuals in 529 plans are administered by the state in conjunction with a predetermined private investment firm such as Fidelity Investments. State treasurers are responsible for the collection of revenues, the investment of those revenues, and the eventual dispersal of these funds to the parents and children for whom these funds have been saved. In some states, the state treasurer also plays an important role in state policy innovation by managing grant monies intended to fund novel policy initiatives. In some cases, state treasurers have solicited proposals for local renewable energy projects, workplace health promotion incentives, and sustainable community development. The treasurer reviews the proposals and plays a key role in determining which grant proposals will be funded. The goal of these grant programs is to provide seed funding for ideas that promote the economic viability of the state economy. The famed educator Horace Mann in Massachusetts established the first state-level education office in the 1830s. In the 17th and 18th centuries, elementary and secondary education was either privately administered or seen as entirely a local government function. While public K-12 education remains largely locally administered, Mann's Common School movement instituted a major state-level role in educational curriculum and organization. The Common School movement was an effort that began in the early 1800s to provide free education to all students regardless of wealth, heritage, or class. Horace Mann, who became the first secretary of the State Board of Education in 1873, is credited with starting the movement. Superintendents of public instruction are elected positions, generally featuring a 4-year term of office. The superintendent's office has a multitude of functions, with curriculum management being a very important aspect of the superintendent's job. While individual school districts have some influence over curriculum issues, the state office plays a key role in determining the curriculum of basic educational requirements, the basic knowledge, skills, and abilities to which all students should have equal access. The superintendent's office maintains accountability through student testing. Since the No Child Left Behind Act became law in 2001, the state office is also responsible for school performance and teacher quality management issues. Other important functions are the management of state finances directed towards basic education and the management of granting programs originating at the state level or filtering through the state office by the federal government. In Part 6 of Module 7 on executives, we'll discuss local government executives.